In a galaxy where power has always been defined by military might and the threat of destruction, humanity's sudden rise with unimaginable quantum technology sends shockwaves through the Galactic Council. As old alliances crumble and new factions rise, the question remains, can peace be achieved without the threat of war? Or has humanity unknowingly placed itself on the edge of becoming the very empire it once sought to avoid? The Galactic Council, composed of the 30 most powerful civilizations, gathered to discuss humanity's growing presence in the galaxy. Despite Earth's technological advancements, many members of the Council were deeply concerned about humanity's apparent lack of military power. High Admiral Xenovox of the Aryan Confederation pointed out that in the standard galactic years since humanity's admission to the Council, they had not commissioned a single warship, developed weapons of mass destruction, or invested significantly in military spending, which represented less than 1% of their GDP. This apparent lack of military preparedness caused concern among the Council members, especially those like General KZ of the Drachnid Empire, who viewed it as a sign of weakness. These species had long relied on military dominance and brute force to maintain peace and order within their sectors, making humanity's peaceful and restrained approach seem naive and unfit for the challenges of galactic politics. While some saw humanity's restraint as admirable, others feared it indicated that Earth would not be a reliable ally in maintaining the stability of the galaxy. Amid the tension and doubts about humanity's military capabilities, Earth's representative, Ambassador Sarah Chen, calmly addressed the Council, defending humanity's approach. She explained that their focus on peaceful development and scientific advancements should not be misconstrued as weakness, but as a conscious choice to seek alternative, more constructive ways to resolve conflicts. While the other species, like the Drachnid Empire, believed that military superiority was the only way to ensure peace, Sarah emphasized that innovation and capability were just as vital. She countered the notion that humanity was defenseless by suggesting that true strength wasn't measured by firepower alone, but by the ability to solve problems without violence. Her words resonated with some in the room, but many of the older, more military-driven factions, including General KZ, remained skeptical. They couldn't understand how a species that refrained from expanding its military capabilities could offer a meaningful contribution to the security of the galaxy. Yet Sarah's calm demeanor and persuasive arguments hinted at something greater humanity might possess, a strength beyond traditional military might. As the Council continued to debate humanity's place in the galaxy, Sarah Chen sent a secret message to her brother, Fleet Admiral James Chen, stationed in a hidden facility at the edge of human space. The transmission was a signal that humanity had been preparing for this moment for decades. While the galaxy's powers focused on brute strength and traditional weapons, humanity had been secretly developing a quantum manipulation technology that could alter the very fabric of space itself. This technology, long kept under wraps, was humanity's true weapon, one that could neutralize entire fleets without a single shot being fired. The transmission was a signal to begin the final preparations. 3 days later, the Drachnid Empire, believing they had a surprise invasion of the Aryan Confederation in the bag, would unknowingly walk into humanity's trap. The fleet, with its cloaked ships and quantum phase generators, would emerge, demonstrating to the galaxy that humanity had been playing a very different game all along. It wasn't about dominating through destruction, it was about reshaping the battlefield itself. The Drachnid invasion fleet emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, 5,000 warships bristling with plasma cannons and missile bays, poised to strike the Aryan Confederation. General KZ, the Drachnid leader, stood on his flagship's bridge, his mandibles clicking in anticipation as they approached their target. They had no reason to believe this would be anything other than another easy victory, and he confidently ordered the fleet to send an ultimatum, demanding immediate surrender from the Aryan forces. However, before the command could be fully executed, the unexpected happened. The empty space between the Drachnid fleet and their target shimmered, and in an instant, hundreds of sleek, dark vessels materialized from nowhere. These ships, far beyond anything the Drachnids had encountered, were human ships, concealed with advanced quantum phase technology. The ships revealed themselves like a predator shedding its camouflage. their forms flickering and shifting in and out of phase with reality. General KZ's confidence turned to disbelief as he realized the humans had been silently watching, waiting, and were now demonstrating just how wrong the galaxy had been about them. The quantum technology that powered these ships had effectively neutralized the Drachnid fleet, rendering their weapons useless and causing catastrophic system failures across their entire armada. This was not a battle of firepower, it was a battle of perception and strategy, and the Drachnids were helpless against humanity's new form of warfare. The human fleet, now revealed and operating with an unprecedented level of precision, began to disable the Drachnid fleet with remarkable efficiency. Humanity's quantum technology had allowed them to manipulate the very fabric of space itself, making their ships virtually untouchable. As the Drachnid warships fired plasma torpedoes and energy beams at the human vessels, the quantum fields protecting the human ships allowed the incoming attacks to pass through harmlessly, as though the ships weren't even there. With their weapons failing, the Drachnids were left powerless to defend themselves. The human fleet moved like a ghost through the Drachnid formation, disrupting the very fabric of space-time around the enemy, causing catastrophic failures in the Drachnid ships' systems. Navigation and communication systems malfunctioned, leaving the Drachnids disoriented and unable to fight back effectively. As the Drachnid fleet's once unshakable defenses crumbled, the humans demonstrated their superiority not through overwhelming force, but through the manipulation of space itself, rendering traditional weapons and military strategies ineffective. In a stunning display of power and restraint, humanity had disabled an entire enemy fleet without firing a single shot, forcing the Drachnids to acknowledge that their assumptions about the human race had been catastrophically wrong. As the battle unfolded, the humans made their strategic move to neutralize the Drachnid fleet without resorting to destruction. Utilizing their quantum technology, the human fleet surrounded the Drachnid ships in a web of altered space-time, rendering their weapons and defenses useless. The human ships, equipped with quantum phase generators, phased in and out of conventional space, avoiding every attack and disrupting the very laws of physics around the enemy. This unprecedented tactic left the Drachnid fleet immobilized and vulnerable, as their systems, once reliant on conventional technologies, began to fail. The human forces, having perfected the art of quantum manipulation, achieved what no other species could. They didn't need to annihilate the enemy to win. Instead, they disabled them completely, trapping the Drachnids in a quantum bubble. The immense power of the human fleet was on full display, but it was their ability to disable their foes without causing widespread destruction that truly highlighted their military ingenuity. This victory marked a defining moment in galactic history, as the humans proved their capability to challenge established powers without resorting to traditional warfare. As the Drachnid fleet surrendered and retreated, the full scale of humanity's hidden strength began to dawn on the Galactic Council. For centuries, the humans had kept their true military capabilities concealed, choosing instead to present themselves as a peaceful, scientific civilization. But now the galaxy was witnessing something unprecedented: humanity's mastery of quantum technology, which allowed them to manipulate space-time and disable entire fleets without a single shot fired. The Council, which had once dismissed the humans as primitive, now had to grapple with the fact that their peaceful facade was just that: an intricate ruse to buy time while humanity perfected its unparalleled technological advancements. As Sarah Chen, the human ambassador, addressed the Council, it became clear that humanity's goals were not rooted in conquest, but in a vision for the future, one where strength was measured not by destructive power, but by the ability to create, innovate, and maintain peace. Yet even as the delegates began to understand the enormity of what humanity had achieved, there was an undeniable sense of unease. What did this newfound power mean for the future of the galaxy? Would humanity's quiet restraint be a model for the future, or would they use their quantum abilities to dominate the galaxy on their terms? In the months that followed humanity's revelation of its quantum capabilities, the galaxy slowly began to adjust to this new reality. Many council species, once wary of humanity's hidden power, started to reconsider their perceptions. As more planets and races came to understand the true potential of quantum manipulation, they realized that the threat of destructive warfare could be mitigated, and a new order could emerge. Human technology had made conventional weapons of mass destruction obsolete, and instead, the focus shifted to peaceful applications of their advancements. The Drachnid Empire, once synonymous with military dominance, embraced human technology for agricultural innovation, transforming dead worlds into lush, productive environments. Other species followed suit, redirecting their efforts from warfare to science and progress. While some of the more conservative factions within the council remained cautious, the younger, more progressive species began to see the benefits of humanity's model of strength through capability rather than force. Ultimately, the galaxy found itself at a crossroads, a future where cooperation and mutual growth replaced the age-old reliance on military might. In humanity, once an unknown species on the galactic stage, became the unexpected leader in shaping a new path forward. As the galaxy adapted to humanity's new role, the Council convened to discuss the long-term implications of the quantum technology humanity had shared. Many delegates were still processing the radical shift in the balance of power. What once seemed like a galaxy ruled by military dominance and old traditions was now on the cusp of a new era. The notion of creating rather than destroying began to resonate more deeply, though not without resistance. Some of the more traditional species, particularly those who had built their empires on strength through warfare, feared what this new paradigm would mean for their place in the galaxy. The question of whether humanity's peaceful approach was a temporary gesture or the beginning of a new, unchallenged dominance hung in the air. Despite these concerns, the majority saw the potential for a more harmonious future, one in which humanity's philosophy of using technology for peaceful ends could inspire a collective prosperity. Yet even as progress was made, the question remained. Would the galaxy embrace this new order, or would old patterns of power and conflict rise once more to challenge it? As the weeks passed, the consequences of humanity's newfound role began to manifest. The initial shock of their quantum technology revelation wore off, but a simmering tension persisted. The galaxy was not unified in its acceptance of humanity's leadership. While many species embraced the possibility of a peaceful coexistence powered by the new quantum technology, others remained wary, fearing that humanity's unprecedented capabilities might eventually be used for domination. The sovereignty movement, a coalition of species that had long resisted the influence of the Galactic Council, began to gain traction. These factions argued that humanity's intervention, though beneficial in the short term, represented a consolidation of power that could lead to further imbalance. Some questioned whether humanity's true motivations were as peaceful as they claimed, citing their military history and the sudden, overwhelming presence of their quantum fleets. Despite humanity's assurances, the delicate balance of power remained fragile, with whispers of unrest growing louder across the galaxy. Amid the growing unrest, the Galactic Council convened a series of emergency sessions to address the shifting power dynamics. Delegates from various species, particularly those from the sovereignty movement, voiced concerns over humanity's growing influence. They questioned whether humanity's technological advancements, particularly their quantum fields, could be trusted, or if they would eventually be used as a tool for subjugation. Some species feared that the quantum fields, once regarded as a symbol of hope, could easily be manipulated for control, as humanity had already shown their ability to neutralize entire fleets without a single shot. On the other hand, many in the Council praised humanity's willingness to share their technology and help rebuild war-torn systems, especially in regions that had suffered under previous empires. Yet the lingering tension between those who sought to maintain their autonomy and those who saw humanity as a stabilizing force threatened to tear the Council apart. The galaxy was at a crossroads, uncertain whether the lessons of the past would be heeded or if the mistakes of history would repeat themselves under the new age of quantum power.